In the End Human Trafficking section from the official site of Homeland Security, last updated in 2014, the section gives a jaw-dropping statistic. Millions of men, women, and children are trafficked for sex or labor in the world, and this includes the United States. Most people overlook this issue because we think that this could not possibly happen in the United States, but we are wrong. To people's disbelief, human trafficking does exist in the United States, and it is very real. The issue needs to be addressed because, like I said, millions of men, women, and children are being held captive at this very moment with very little hope left. But they do not have to stay captive. We can be the ones to free them. We can bring back the hope that was once lost. They are like animals being held captive in a zoo. Today I want to talk to you about how men, women, and children are affected by human trafficking and how we can unite together to fix this problem. To begin with, I'm going to start off with how people's lives are affected by human trafficking. Human trafficking is not just an abduction. It's taking away someone's freedom and they are being used for sex or labor. For example, the movie Taken. We see a young girl, a teenage girl that takes a trip to Paris, and in the end she is trafficked for sex. So we as Americans believe that since she's in Paris, this could not possibly happen in the United States, but we are wrong. The trafficking in the United States may not be as large as some of the other countries in the world, but the fact is that it still exists. According to the Office of Refugee Settlement, last updated in 2012, the fact sheet on human trafficking explains that there are 3 separate ways to be trafficked, and those are force, fraud, and coercion. Force is exactly the way it sounds. It is by physical restraint. Fraud is more complex. It is promising a person that they would have a better working condition and that when they arrive at a new job that their life is going to be changed dramatically. But when they arrive, the job is not what was promised and they are forced into labor. Coercion is when a threat of serious harm is projected towards them. Their lives are train wrecks, but we can be the angels in the midst and help them while they're in this trouble. So as you can see, this is not something we can just overlook in the United States. It is here, and it is something we need to make a change about. For my next point, I want to talk to you about what the next step is for us. We need to band together and stop human trafficking, and I believe we can do that by incorporating what trafficking is and how we can report it in professional associations, meetings, and conferences. We could even go as far as putting information into their handbooks that they provide to new employees. Information that could be presented is how to recognize a victim of human trafficking. According to the USA.gov, last updated in 2013, this section on how to recognize and prevent human trafficking explains signs to look out for, and they include evidence of someone being controlled, they are afraid to leave their home, and they do not share any personal information. If we could get this information out into big conferences to educate even more people, then we will have a chance at stopping this. Some pictures that I found online are pictures that trafficking is not for sale. It's a woman being tied to a bed. Another picture I found is another woman crying. Said human trafficking became the second most profitable industry after the drug industry, which I found to be very profound. Something else that we can also do to help fix this problem is to work with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. According to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, last updated in 2013, the section on human trafficking in the EEO law states that there are laws prohibiting discrimination as an integral part against human trafficking. This means that there are specific laws in place that prevent someone from trafficking a specific person based on their age, relationship to their nation, or their gender. So we as a group need to band together and provide support from large-scale communities as well to get this information out, as well as unite with the Equal Employment Opportunity Agency. This is a picture that I found online, and that's their symbol that they use. Many people overlook human trafficking in the United States, but we need to learn not to do so. Millions of lives are affected by fraud, force, and coercion, and eventually their lives become fragile. We have the capability of stopping this epidemic by getting information out into the public through through business conferences, as well as hopefully getting this information out into the business handbooks one day. We can also unite with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and provide people with laws that are in place today that we can help get this information out so that people know that there are laws against human trafficking. Today, I want you to take the next step with me and sign this petition that I have. This petition says that we will unite together and help get this information out into the public so that we can educate even more people on how to end human trafficking. I will sign this first. And then I want everyone else, if you have agreed with everything that I've said, to go ahead and sign this petition. If you sign this petition, one day you will be able to say you signed, you did, and you accomplished. Let's unite together to reach our goals. Let's unite together to free the millions of men, women, and children.